Next one. I wanted to talk, I wanna bring that up at the work meeting.
Yeah.
I've gotten some feedback, like, except in August, we don't have enough time to get it done before the end of the year. So I think we really should slide that.
No, I'm not. I need to do investigation. Because I didn't, I'll send
I
it.
will.
I don't really want to. I mean,
Well, I mean,
I'm sure
it saves us a lot of.
we're gonna be down that road.
Probably.
Absolutely.
You know,
But I still need to
it's
do
more convenience.
my first thing first.
Yeah, make sure your feet,
Did they have everything
in line?
Yeah.
That they actually sold us.
Oh, they always ask me, they're like, whenever I get to court, there was like,
No, that's.
did you do this, and this?
That they.
Let me see your
they take
letters.
their-
Yeah, I mean,
their percentages. I
Just
didn't
make sure
do
that exhibit
November
gets
just-
attached and then have Kelly recorded.
But yeah, it always shows what they take out. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. Alright, why isn't the camera moving?
Now we're gonna watch a movie.
Yeah.
Darn, I forgot my popcorn.
New guy has to bring it. He said in January he's gonna have a popcorn machine.
There's got to be.
Oh.
We have to run well here again. Nope, the camera won't kick on.
Now we're gonna go to prom.
Well, I don't know that we're gonna be broadcasting tonight. Well, it is what it is. Anybody here good with computers? No?
I can look at it after the meeting, but
Yeah, I don't know why the camera, as soon as I turned it on, normally the camera kicks in, but it just didn't do it tonight. All right, well, we're gonna start anyway. All right, I'd like to call to order the December meeting of the Windsor Township Board of Supervisors. Before we start, I'd like to invite everybody to stand and say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, first item on the agenda, would someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the November 8th meeting of the board? I'll make that motion. I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Ayes have it. All right, on to public comment. We have two people tonight. Mr. Robert Seidel, you're up first.
Yes. When was the last time that the activity area was renewed? Which year? How many years ago? Supposed to be every 7 years.
I believe it was either this year or last year. I
Yeah.
think we did it in conjunction with the most recent application we had.
Yeah.
Could you hear that, Robert?
What?
I think it was either this year or last year we did it.
No, we just had a meeting to put a form in exterior. We never had a review.
I'll have to check the records. I thought we did it in conjunction with that application.
No. Because I brought it up and you said we gotta do it sometime and nothing ever happened.
I'll have to check.
Anything else?
No?
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Ivan Zimmerman. Did he leave? Okay.
He was just here to sign the improvements agreement, which he has done. I just need your signature after the meeting.
Okay, so we,
And Craig's.
yep, we have that. All right, that's good. Did he pick the plans up then, or just, not until he, wasn't he going to pick the plans up after they was delivered?
Yeah, there was just a minor change. He had already signed it, but there was just a minor, there was a typographical error that we wanted to fix. So that's why I had him re-sign it, and I'll have you sign it tonight. That way we can get it recorded.
Okay, all right, good enough. All right. If there's no other public comment, we're gonna go into financial status.
Okay, real quick, if you took a handout. Of that show the finances as of today. And everything is just normal. Again, I keep talking about this, but I think it's important for us to know. Again, I just did some arithmetic. If you look down at line item 310.21, earned income tax. As of today, the total amount of money is received, of course, that comes in our general fund. And just for information, I just did a little bit of arithmetic. Actually, 62% of all the monies that are received by the township at this point. And in my mind, that's an absolutely good reflection of the people who live in Windsor Township. If you compare that to the first item on taxes, the real estate taxes, there they have the current year and whatever, but less than $40,000 received totally from real estate taxes. So having good people living in areas that have good jobs is absolutely the major source of income, you know, in our township. It's actually I did the arithmetic, it's 62% of the general fund and 49% of all the monies that we receive. So just a matter of interest, that of course is an indication of the quality of the people who are living in the township. Total income received as of today in all the funds, that would be the American Rescue Fund, the State Fund, and of course, as we just said, the General Fund, $862,443.00. We compare that to the total monies that have been expended. Expenditures at this point, $901,358.34. Of course, one of the things that's happening right now is all of the legal applications with that. But that's all part of the thing. But anyway, if anyone has any questions, I'll try to field those if anyone does, as far as where we stand right now.
Any comment? All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, zoning officer, Mr. Weston.
I don't have any unless you guys have something new.
Nothing new on the burning out and,
I haven't heard anything from, I told them to keep me posted and send me pictures, and I haven't
nothing
heard-
new.
No, but I'm gonna leave it on here for a while, because in case it does pop up, I wanna leave that violation letter open, so it does pop up again. I'm hoping to deter them, but I don't know for sure. It'll probably be a little bit yet, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Do you have anything for Ryan?
No, I received the email, you checked into that, you returned the question as far as the solar question with that.
Yes.
Are you familiar with that company?
Yeah, I returned the email. He was asking, there were simple zoning questions, so I returned those emails.
Where's it come from? Where is the headquarters for the company?
Oh, I don't,
You don't know?
What that is that what they're looking into is just, that's a general person asking questions. That's like a a project manager type person.
Did you know what tax parcel or where that property was?
To Berks County assessment search, and I knew where it located as from that. But I just did a broad, here's the sections, this is where it's located, this is what's allowed, this is what's not allowed. As you saw in the email, I think I CC'd you
Okay.
guys on that. And I wanted him to call me for more direct questions, because I want to know where exactly he should.
But at this point, he hasn't contacted you, right?
No.
Or- Okay.
Besides that email, correct? And then I respond with that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I read your response.
Keeping it general for now until we.
Discuss that issue with Helene Court while you have the floor.
Oh, okay, yes,
You're gonna bring that up?
with Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to look into it, Russ, with Helene Court, and you can, you can take a look at it with, right now with, rentals, it looks like almost, you were saying, thinking?
Well, an LLC, I guess, had bought it from another LLC.
Yeah.
And we're wondering if they're using it for rentals.
Because now we have that ordinance, but the biggest thing is it allowed, during the original subdivision, was that allowed to be done with the establishment of the HOA and rentals for that property?
So you're talking about the Caliero
Yeah.
transfer to Pink Azalea and to Peach Orchard?
And I think that also happened with the second set of houses, the second four that they built.
The second four
I
they built
remember
were
seeing
all
that in the
sent around,
newspaper
okay.
as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to look into it.
Yeah, no, same. I
Yeah.
think we need to look at the plans well when they're finalized.
Yeah, because if, you know,
Just to see what it says.
if it comes to light, the people in the HOA are gonna come asking what's going on. Because I think Dennis said Becky is already getting phone calls about it.
It's an HOA issue.
Yeah,
That's what
Yeah,
I'm-
but they're gonna come to us.
Well,
Yeah.
but tell them to enforce their own HOA. If it's being used as a single-family house, and that's what the zoning is, that's the township's zoning. Now, if they rent it or not, the HOA might say something positive or negative to that effect, but the township does not enforce HOA.
Yeah,
right.
But we do have a rental ordinance, and I want to send them a letter if they're in violation of not getting a permit for the rent, through going through the rental ordinance.
Right.
But yes,
But
the
just because
HOA
they,
is take
but
part of
just
the
because they
site plan.
transferred it to another LLC doesn't mean it's rental.
Exactly, exactly correct. We just
Yeah.
want to look into it. That's all.
yeah.
Thank you.
Any other comment? All right. Thank you, Ryan. All right, engineer and SEO, Mr. Unger.
Okay, you have a copy of the SEO report for the month. There was no activity there. For information, I passed out the LSA grant, received the acknowledgement that they received the application. So the LSA grant has been submitted. I do need a signature or authorization on an HOP form from PennDOT authorizing SDE to act on as the township's representative to submit the HOP for HOK. I do need that signature on that form, which I can get after the meeting.
Yep.
Kircher Creek paving is completed. That work, I think, went pretty well. Had a lot of phone calls when it was happening, but I think we resolved, and we met with different property owners, and I think got everything answered for them.
Yeah, the only complaint that I heard was that the sod, the areas where it met the blacktop was lower than
Yeah,
the blacktop.
I didn't even hear that one.
Yeah.
Blue Heron Village, they held a pre-construction meeting with Berkeley County Conservation District.
Oh, good.
So that was held. I need a copy of recorded plans and improvement agreements.
Once it's recorded, which will be this week or early next week, I'll get it to you.
Okay.
At least the improvements agreement, I told Ivan that he needs to go back to his engineer to figure out what else he needs to record. The plans, he said, have been recorded. I told him we need 2 copies to be delivered to the township.
Okay. That's everything I have for the board.
All right, any other comment? No? All right, thank you very much. All right, Roadmaster, what do you have, Ben?
We had it busy. We got the John Deere, the boom mower taken off, got that ready for Windsor, put the loader on, and we were out chipping some trees already. The pickup truck was inspected, took new front brakes, did some more crack sealing, finished up Edinburgh, the old section, got that all re-crack sealed again. And spreaders are on the trucks, and we were out one time so far, and they worked. So
Did you get a bill for those lights on the truck?
the invoicing should be coming,
Right, we didn't get the invoice yet.
Okay.
but it's at their quote. So I thought it was
That's
gonna,
what they quoted?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was gonna go higher because they
Yeah,
had some
you said the
issues.
labor issue.
But they, from the paper I saw, it stayed at their quote, so they didn't. Now, the invoice might be higher, but we gotta double check that when it comes. So,
Yeah, check it out before we pay it.
yeah,
Find out if it's higher, find out what's going on.
so, yeah, they got installed on the 4th, so didn't have a chance to really check them out yet, so.
Okay. Well, hopefully we won't need them.
They definitely look smaller on the truck, because when you look up now, it's like, where are they? Because they are smaller, but in the shop, it lit up their shop, so they're definitely brighter than the old lights. So, other thing was for Craig, the year end for the road crew. You want that Friday, this Friday,
Yeah,
for the 15th.
yeah, the 5th, yeah, do that. 5th, that'll give me plenty of time for that, then we can.
I started going to a couple of the truck dealerships to start getting chassis quotes. I was down at Berman, Lowell and Moyer, and Hunter Peterbilt so far. And one thing, I'm glad we did start this early, because all of them said for a 2025 year truck, they need to know by the end of April to get it in the line.
Yeah,
Freightliner,
when's the convention?
May,
May.
middle of May.
Our PSATs is,
Yeah, the PSATs.
that's in April.
Yeah, what is
Isn't it
it?
later, because next year's a presidential election, isn't it usually? I know I just got the paperwork, I didn't.
I
look at
just
the
gave
dates.
some papers.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's the date for the PSATs conference? April, well, he has one too.
Okay, April 14th,
April 14th.
17th.
Thank you.
I think it's, well, never mind, that's my vacation time. So, I said, if they can get me the info sooner than later, they're gonna get me a brief. I gave her like a description of what we were looking for, and they were gonna put a package together.
Are you looking for something like the Freightliner that we have?
So, go into a 10-wheeler.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you're,
yeah, I'd rather go up and stuff, so, because
it wouldn't be bad to have a big 10-wheeler.
when we get our snows, those
Yeah.
trucks are too small. They're underpowered and
Yeah.
they're too small. You can't push nothing.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt.
So, I think that's why we're kind of having some issues with them, because they don't have enough oomph and body behind them. Our plows were too big, especially that big double plow. That was way too big for our truck.
Well, we need to get some specs for it.
But Freightliner, all the dealers aren't allowed so many trucks a year now, because Freightliner, since the pandemic, they said we're only gonna make so money and done, so they're condensing their dealerships. So each one's only allowed so many. Berman's already 3 over for 2024 into 2025, but he didn't say how many they are. So he said they're gonna put a bid, but you don't know if it's gonna be, Peterbilt's the same way, and International, he didn't say anything, so.
And Mac.
George has a question.
I'm not sure if I hear it all very clearly, but I think what he's just saying is absolutely 100% correct. Like, my job, last year involved a lot of the purchasing for much bigger fleet than you guys have, much bigger. And, yeah, you think you have something locked in, and then suddenly, well, it gets pulled out from underneath you, so, yeah, and if they say that there's a deadline, you better have it in before the deadline, and then still stay on top of it.
Well, that's the thing, we go up to the convention and they always have the equipment show, and they always have those kind of units there. And, you know, most of those people, you know, they'll give us the lowdown on all that stuff, of their availability of the chassis and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I've seen it over and over and over.
Yeah,
Yep.
all right.
So, try to keep on top of that and stuff, so. And then, last thing is the loader's coming up for transmission service and hydraulic service. So I'm gonna go for oil and filters for that before the end of the year, since that stuff's on sale,
Yep.
so. But that's all I have.
All right, any comment? No questions? No. All right, thank you. All right, anything at the park?
Planning on picking up the leaves tomorrow, since they all should be down and not blown away yet, so we're gonna pick them up tomorrow.
Yeah, I tried to talk Mike into coming out and doing those lights while it was warm. It might wind up being in spring. He has everything we need to do that. So if we get a warm day, he might come out and do it. And the other thing, I talked about that water meter to the people in the office. If we get one of their remote meters, they're gonna wanna charge us a meter fee. I mean, we can just continue the way we're doing it. Put the old meter, figure on putting the old meter back in. And he did say something about the light at the flagpole at the park. He said it wasn't powered up, that's why he couldn't check anything on it. So he's gonna do it when he does the lights at the pavilion.
Yeah, cause everything's.
You shut it down by that time.
Yeah, everything's killed now.
Yeah, because he said that he had changed that before, it is an LED light.
Yeah, but it's all a self-contained one, it's not.
You can't do nothing with
yeah,
it.
You gotta replace the whole unit.
Yeah, okay.
Cause I was hoping just to switch the bulb, but.
Yeah,
it's
no,
all-
you
it's
don't
all-
do that anymore.
Yeah, it's just all contained. so.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they're like $75 or something like that. All right, any other comment? No? All right, thank you. All right, solicitor, Mr. Farbiar's.
Yeah, we haven't been busy lately. I'm joking. So, of course, we've been mostly occupied with the Valley Trail Solar conditional use hearings. As noted on the agenda, those are continuing January 17th and 18th, and maybe beyond that.
Russell, has that been verified with the school?
Yes.
All right, so we want to post that's now been verified. Okay.
Yes, it has been,
Thank
it has been
you.
confirmed. Ryan, well, I did just look up these two deeds for Caliero. I mean, it's really hard to tell. It looks like they sold these two units, which are next door to each other, to these two separate, what look like property management LLCs. They both have addresses, these entities both have addresses in Schuylkill County. So it may be worth a call or a visit or something.
I will.
Like there's likely, it looks to me like that it could be a rental situation.
All right.
But I can't verify that.
I'll verify before I send the letter, that's no problem.
Can you explore all the new units that they did, and to make
Yeah,
sure.
all four, yeah.
Yeah.
We are, I can just go through some of the things on the agenda that we have. Blue Heron Village, I do have the improvements agreements here for the chairman to sign tonight. You don't need a motion because you've already authorized it, we just made a typographical change to it. And then we're gonna get that recorded along with the BMP agreement that's already been executed. Weight limit study, we did receive a copy of that from Tom's office. And we are, excuse me, we are working on an update to the ordinance that will, I don't know if it'll be ready for review at the January 2nd organizational meeting, but definitely by the February meeting. And we have the Hamburg Commerce line of credit reduction. We do need a motion authorizing the chairman to execute a form from U.S. Bank National Association accepting the reduction that was previously approved, I believe, at the September meeting, but this form needs to be signed.
I so move.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
Okay. And then I will comment on, I see that we have an ag security application, and this is probably as good a time as any to say that I've received some feedback that our month when we accept those is August. There's not enough time when we get it in August to make sure that we can jump through all of the hoops in the ag security law and have an application, a hearing and a decision approved by the end of the calendar year, which I think is, by not doing that, we're doing a disservice to the applicant. So I would recommend that at the organizational meeting that we move that month up maybe to like February or March, because I think it's important that we try to get it done all in the same calendar year. And so that said, we have an application, and I would.
Do we have to table that until we make that change?
Well, what I would, right now, I mean, right now, our resolution says that we only accept them in August. What I'm suggesting is that in a few weeks, when you reorganize,
Yep.
we change that to February or March, and I think that we tell the applicant, which is Donna Klein, that the board will essentially acknowledge and accept her application, that, whichever you choose, February or March.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with changing the month, but I think she had applied a couple of years ago and never came back with anything.
Yeah.
She made the application but never followed through with anything.
I thought that she filed 2 applications and one was approved, one was not. But maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I do remember her applying before. But
Yeah.
Part of the committee, Mr. Seidel is on the committee. One of the other persons was Eric George. Now, Eric George is now
Yep.
out of Windsor Township, so
Right.
we have to appoint someone else. Now, we were talking a little bit, and there was a person who was involved in this. And Robert, what's the name again?
Radell Stuffler.
Who was the other one? Orrin?
Orange
Was one-
Moyer?
Orrin Moyer was one of them. George Humala. Bobby, you were one, and who was the other?
No. Well, Eric George was one.
Yeah, but I thought, wasn't there two
thought
young
you-
farmers here?
I thought you appointed 2 new people.
Yeah, I thought we
with
did
less
too.
than- Warren was one of them.
Orrin and Kyle, yeah. Yeah.
And what's the number of people on the committee?
Is it 5?
5.
5?
Yeah, I think it's 2 farmers, 2 non-farmers, and There's another, we'd have to look at the statute to confirm, but I think 5 is the number, but I think there's categories.
We should definitely do that
At
during the
reorganization.
organizational meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, can you look at that statute? Yeah, we'll look at that and we'll,
And if we have the 5, we can put that other person on as an alternate, correct?
I don't know that you can have an alternate to that. We can double check, but I'm not sure if you can.
All right. Okay. Is that it?
I believe so.
Had you got a chance to look over any of that fire company stuff that I sent you, that Rob's proposal?
Not in any detail.
Okay. Well, I don't see him here tonight. I thought for sure they'd be here, but we may be done before they get here. Yeah, still fighting with them. Okay. Any other comment? No. All right, thank you. On to old business. Mountain Trail Solar, we talked about. Conditional use hearings are scheduled for January 17th and 18th at 5:30. Correct?
Yes.
And that will be posted on the website.
Right.
Okay. Blue Herring Land Development Improvement Agreement. Gonna take care of that later on. The fire company, like I said, they're not here tonight. The only thing, I don't know, I did some number crunching for you guys. I don't know how Rob came up with his numbers, and I sent him an email, and did you read the response?
Part of it, yes.
Well, they're basically looking for $194,000 from the Hamburg, Tilden, and Windsor. And our percentage between the assessment, the number of people, and the number of calls basically accounts for 22.7%. And that would be $44,000 of that. If you took 194 times 22%, it's basically $44,000. And they're asking us for 56 for our portion. Now, in that doesn't include any capital improvement money, which they want an additional $125,000 a year, but they're not going to do it next year in 2024. It may start in 25. And that percentage, that they would want an additional $39,000 a year from us just to cover that, which amounts to 31%. So I think these are some numbers that we're gonna have to get some explanation on as to why it's so lopsided. As far as the way Rob figured it out, Hamburg's responsible for 41%, Tilden's responsible for basically 30%, and we're at 28.8%. But we're responsible for 22% of the activity of the fire company. So I don't know how that sits with you guys. You know, I want to send that to you, Jerry, so you could have a chance to look that stuff over and see it, you know, so you have some idea of what's going on.
Well, can I ask a question regarding that?
Yep.
And maybe this is philosophical, nothing from a judgment point, but the citizens pay for the fire protection, correct? That's what you're asking for here.
Yeah, we did a financial survey of the fire company, and they wanted to go out 10 years because part of that survey is replacing units. And they have a pretty aggressive replacement plan for the units. They're looking at replacing a unit every 2 years and only getting rid of one truck. Now, they have two different options. There's an option there for buying new equipment or buying good used equipment. They did a payment breakdown of it and that stuff, and that's basically for them to decide. But another thing that was in one of the emails, George Minton is going to be representing Hamburg. I'm not sure who Tilden's representative is, and Dave Macbeth, they have appointed our representative. Now, I guess, I don't know what what weight they're gonna carry, but shouldn't we have Dave Macbeth here and explain where he's coming from?
Well, let me
Yeah.
follow up where I was
If he's
going.
if he's your representative, you.
Well,
you
they,
should-
that's they appointed it, we didn't appoint that representative. That's what I'm saying, the fire company appointed it. Yeah, but I mean, we will have a presence at the meeting as well. But, you know, Dave Macbeth might not be my choice to represent Windsor Township.
Why do they get to choose?
That's, yeah.
It doesn't make any
It
sense.
it says right in there, we appointed these 3 people, one from each entity. He is in the past.
Is he a resident of Windsor Township?
I'm pretty sure he is. He used to live in Hamburg, I'm pretty sure he is.
David Macbeth, he could have.
Yeah, I thought it was somewhere out there.
Well, I think you should invite him to come to a meeting so that he can actually understand what the point of view of the supervisor is.
Well, their quarterly meeting is gonna be in January on the 17th or 18th. The night of our public hearings. So, I mean, that's something we gotta let Jared know. I mean, if he's, you know, he's not our pick for appointment unless we say so.
No, I mean, he doesn't have any authority to represent Windsor Township unless Windsor Township
Appoints him.
appoints him.
Yeah.
You know.
And actually, somebody that I was thinking about doing, or someone I was thinking about asking, Ruben Charles Dalius. Because he has been in the fire company, his family was in the fire company. Hold their feet to the fire when it comes to buying equipment. Because of the one piece of equipment they want to get rid of is 13 years old. You know, and they have a lot older units and that stuff, and it's their replacement plan is pretty aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
You had a follow-up to
Yeah, I
that?
have a follow-up question, and this is just to put this in perspective about the funds. If there's an accident on 78 and they respond to it, they bill the insurance company for that call, do they not?
They don't always get a lot of money from it. That's
And if my house catches on fire, the insurance company also, do they not?
that I don't know. I don't think the PA building fire protection into your homeowner's insurance. I don't know that they ever did that.
Okay, some towns, some places they do. I don't know if they do it here.
But the insurance companies would have to buy into that, and you know, what's that gonna take to get the insurance company to say, oh yeah, no problem?
I don't, I mean, it's floating money in my eyes.
Yeah, it's an aggressive plan, but I mean, I understand that they need to do upkeep on their equipment and that stuff. Their basic operating expenses are $294,000 a year. Hamburg, Tilden, and Windsor are gonna cover $194,000, and they get $100,000 through solicitation. They did a boot drive, they did a meat drive, and grant money and all that stuff. So they are getting like $100,000 other than from the township. But one of my big questions is, that deal fell through for the field house. Manderbach was gonna rent the field house for 6 years, and there was gonna be roughly around $100,000 that they were gonna get from them a year, which would have covered their capital improvements fund, you know, for at least 6 years. Well, when that deal fell through, they decided, I just read the email tonight, they decided they're not gonna do anything with the field house in 2024. Now, they had all these events there in the past. They used to have wrestling there. That's moving up to Origsburg. You know, if they let the place sit for a year, they're gonna lose all their clients that they had built up. And to me, that's a huge mistake. Because that's a great source of revenue. And you can't just let that thing sit there. Because you know what happens to the buildings when it sits there. I mean, if they don't wanna run it, in my opinion, get somebody to manage it or sell it, if they can do that.
you know, the other thing is, it's just not Hamburg. We also support you know.
And Virginsville as well.
I mean, now, one of the responsibilities, obviously, of municipal government is providing health and safety for our residents and whatever. And I just know over all the years, that all the feedback we have always gotten was that our contributions to the fire companies was above adequate. And I do understand times are changing and whatever, but, you know, Hamburg wants to have the big piece of the pie with all of this, and they're not the only ones involved in this.
And I don't know if you saw any of the emails that they want to change the run cards again.
We always want to change the run codes.
Well, they want, you know, if the solar thing would go through, they want basically Gaspari's property. Because I think the run card line is Sunday Road. And Virginsville has east of Sunday Road. So, there's a lot to talk about and get straightened out before that. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, as far as Rob's report, he sets a baseline, but unless they come to us within the next year and give us some definite plan for the field house, I'm not for it, because they have zeros across the line for the next 6 years as income. All right. Any other comment on that? All right.
Other than the fact that when Hamburg says boo, doesn't mean, you know, we
Yeah,
say how high
that's,
we jump. I
well,
mean,
that's
you know,
why I'm doing all this number crunching and that stuff, you know, just to keep on top of it. All right, the weight limit study, was there anything that you wanted to go over with us in the weight limit study?
No, we're good to go. It's complete, it's finalized, it provides the justification, the warrants for the traffic, or for the weight limit. So coordination with the two municipalities to coordinate sign placement and so forth. And then once that is completed, you can, I think Russell's working on the ordinance, to revise the ordinance.
And,
But I'm not following up with municipalities.
yeah, you're doing an intergovernmental agreement.
Well, we will now,
Yeah.
now that we have the study.
Yeah.
We will move forward with that.
Yep, okay. Any other comment on that?
No.
No? All right, on to new business, the Hamburg Commerce Park. We'll sign the paperwork at the end of the meeting. And the ag security application for Donna Klein, we'll take care of during the reorganization meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Other concerns, December 26th meeting at 3 o'clock, that would be for the approval of the budget.
Right, and any other business, obviously, that we have,
Yep.
but the main thing is to officially adopt the budget, which we tentatively or have a preliminary approval at the November meeting.
And that's at 3 o'clock.
Mm,
You have it 3 or 3:30?
Yeah, it's 3:30,
That's what I
sorry about
thought.
that.
That's what I thought.
It's 3:30.
Yep, that's good, yeah, I wrote that down earlier. Okay, and January 2nd is the organizational meeting, and that will be our January monthly meeting, and that'll be at 7 PM on the 2nd of January. All right,
Yeah, the 19th of this year, of course, is the last planning commission meeting, you know, for the year. And one of the things, and maybe Ryan can explain, we got a letter from that's to be
Oh,
on
this
the
is for the-
agenda, you know.
this is for the storage sheds.
That's for the storage.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
That's I spoke with the attorney for the applicant on that. And I think this is just really like a meet and greet, you know, which is what I suggested to them, is that they come to sort of just tell the planning commission what they're planning to do, And that's what's
Right.
They're
happening.
gonna provide a basic sketch plan.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but they have not made a formal submission,
Nope.
and I don't expect that they will before that.
Right, I just wanted to indicate we have received that, and they are on the agenda for the 19th of December.
All right. And then January 16th will be the planning commission
Organization.
organizational meeting at 7. All right. Anybody else have any other business?
I have something for executive session.
Okay. Anything, Dennis? Nope. No? All right, anybody in the audience have anything to say tonight?
I'm glad you're doing that, Dave.
Now, it's the
I
end of the year.
I
Bruce.
wish you'd do that for a few months just to try.
Well, I know where that's gonna go.
Because I think it's fresh into people's mind at this point, what you discussed, and if you can handle it, try that.
Well, we'll see.
Try it for 2-3 months and then after
We'll
that.
see how it
decide.
goes. What's on your mind?
Not
Well, was that was it?
That was it. I
Thank
can't
you very
believe
much.
it.
All right, anything else? Well, all right, I'd like to make a motion that we pay the bills. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Ayes have it. And I'd like to make a motion, we go into executive session. Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Ayes have it.